Hello and welcome to the Narc Alert, the channel where we look at YouTubers and others to see if they demonstrate any traits that fall within the spectrum of narcissistic personality disorder or NPD. These videos are for fun and entertainment purposes only, strictly my opinion, and remember, please don't send any snark to our possible narcs. So key points to remember: messy fun and not a diagnosis. Hello my lovely alerts and welcome back to the Narc Alert. Well, I hope we've all had a peaceful and happy Sunday, and to finish it off, I thought it was time for a little compilation. One of the things that seems to be keeping the Amberverse all abuzz these days is her talk of her OCD. So I thought tonight it might be interesting to take a look back and make a little compilation of all the times Amber has spoke to us about having OCD.
Major OCD, but I feel like it's just this weird OCD type of thing that if I leave the house, I like my book with me past 12 a.m. so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I guess maybe I'm not gonna be getting much sleep because I do like to upload them before I go to sleep. It's like a crazy OCD thing. But in dance I never used to feel like that. I never used to feel like so out of breath, but now, I mean, I only did 3 songs. It lasted, I wrote this all down because I'm OCD like that. So one fact you can learn about me is that I do have OCD, so does my girlfriend, but we both have different OCD. I'm very compulsive when it comes to certain things. So this is my little dance schedule. So every song that I do, I'm gonna write down. That is way compulsive. Do I really need to do that? And then the next day I'm gonna do the same thing, and what I'm gonna try to do is do the same or do more than I did the day before. That's definitely an obsessive compulsive thing there, but I can't help it. Since I gave you guys an OCD thing that I do, I'm gonna tell you one that my girlfriend does. She washes her hands. Okay, what I mean by she washes her hands is she does it quite often. She'll wash her hands after pretty much anything that she does. It used to be actually a lot worse before I even met her, but you know, it's nice to say that I was able to kind of, you know, cure some of her OCD things. And I gotta say, writing it all down in the journal was very tedious. It got boring. It kind of annoyed me because I'm so OCD, and I have some crazy OCD where I have to actually sit there and watch every single vlog to catch up with somebody's vlogs. I don't know, it's really weird. But I'm so OCD, I feel like I always have to have my purse match my clothes, but it's like that's what I want to wear tomorrow. But I wore that 3 weeks ago. I don't know what to do. I'm sure no one has these issues like I do, but it's some OCD thing. I don't even know. I'm totally OCD. It was just because, as you guys know, I'm so OCD for planning my outfits and packing and stuff. I have OCD in so many different ways. I'm just weird. It's gonna be 31 days of Vlogmas instead of just 25. So I don't know. It's just something I want to do. It's kind of an OCD thing, a mess. I'm so OCD when it comes to packing. Everything has to be so perfect and put in the right spot, and it just takes me forever. I'm very OCD when it comes to bills. I'm a very big planner. When I was younger, I was diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder. A lot of people joke about having OCD or being OCD with certain things, but it's not really something to joke about when someone really has it. Obsessive compulsive disorder isn't just oh, I have to have, you know, everything stacked in a certain way, or oh, I have to take the 3rd item when I'm grocery shopping from the back, you know, stuff like that. It's not just like that. There are OCDs that are, you have to do things repetitive and things like that. I have quite a few OCDs. I'll share 3 of them with you. One of them I still do. Another one I catch myself doing sometimes, but I try to stop. And another one I completely stopped. So the one I completely stopped, I I learned how to do sign language, A, B, C, D, E, whatever, I don't really do it all. I think 10 or 11, and after I learned how to do the ABCs in sign language, every time I would talk, or every time someone would talk around me, or every time I would think, I would have my hand hidden so no one can see it, and I would sign every single thing somebody would say, and I couldn't stop myself from doing it. It became really obsessive, and sometimes I'd get really angry with myself, like I literally couldn't stop, and it was scaring the shit out of me. And something else I used to do, this started when I was probably 12. If I was just driving in the car and I was sitting in the front seat, every time, because you know how you're driving and there's trees, and like sometimes the tree shadows are on the road. Like every time I saw a tree shadow, like at the beginning of the shadow I would have to blink, and the end of the shadow I would have to blink, and I couldn't stop. It actually made it to where I didn't sit in the front seat for a long time. Frustrating. I have caught myself doing that maybe twice in the last 2 years, and that's awesome because that means I've come a long way with that one, which I am so happy about. To start wearing those, it's like an OCD thing. I don't know, like I have to. I don't want to sit here and explain it. Never mind. So me and I had 4 Redbox movies that we completely forgot about. That never happens. I'm very like OCD with returning things on time. I pay my bills on time, but for some reason we forgot about those movies. The sheets like kind of flatten your shoes. There's like an indent. Okay, just letting you know. I'm like so OCD when it comes to stuff like that. I don't know. I hate when people say, oh, I have OCD, but like I literally do. I was diagnosed with OCPD. You have OCD, yes. And yes, I was diagnosed. Calm down. Actually, the things I do because of my OCD kinda gets under Becky's skin. Okay, wait, I worded that wrong. It doesn't get under Becky's skin, but we've definitely had talks where it doesn't frustrate her, but it doesn't annoy her. It like, it's just hard for her to deal with. And my OCD tendencies that I do have, I do not talk about them on YouTube. I hate talking about this. Out of everything that's wrong with me, having OCD, I feel the most ashamed of. And please, if you have OCD or OCPD, which, hi, please don't get offended because I'm literally going through what you're going through. Probably not as bad, or you might have it less than me. Not saying that you should be ashamed. I'm just saying me as a person, my story, the things that I do, I feel ashamed, especially people in my life. I feel like I get on people's nerves a lot because of the things that I do. I'm embarrassed by it, and it's like I can't control it, and sometimes I have to literally sit there and tell myself, I'm sorry you guys, this is just, you know, one of my moments, my OCD moments. I don't open up about this because I feel like a lot of people also think I'm lying. Gateway Institute, they specialize in OCD. Oh, really? The Gateway Institute. I need to look that up. Thank you, Ty.
You have to have everything a certain way, and you just gotta have, I don't know, your OCD is insane.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like
a lot of people don't understand that.
You're trying to push that aside.
Right.
To work on our friendship, and you're not going with the, you know, freak out, screaming, yelling like the AMBERLYNN in the past would have.
Yeah. My OCD would get really bad. Like, and I've read up on it and tried to see if it was normal. My psychiatrist would tell me it was normal, but like, when your OCD is so bad and like, how do I explain it? Say there was something out of order. Look this all up. I know it's confusing to people who don't have OCD. I would freak out. Like it really, like something inside of me, like I don't know how to explain it.
Remember that one time we went grocery shopping and I put everything in the trunk and everything, and there was just something sitting on top of something, and AMBERLYNN saw it. And she was like, move that. You got to move that right now. And I'm like, nah, it's okay. I shut the trunk, got in the car. We were sitting in the car. She's like, can you please just go move that right now? Please. I can't stop thinking about it. And I'm like, it's not squishing it. And you're just like, I don't care. Can you please go move that? So I had to get back out of the car, open the trunk, and move it.
Yeah. It's not like I scream at her like, stupid bitch. No, it's just like, oh my God, like, yeah, I think you might have worded that wrong. It did sound kind of crazy.
And as you guys know, I actually pick my skin. I have excoriation, which is part of the OCD family. And I think I was getting super annoyed, frustrated, overwhelmed, and kind of sad with people saying I had diabetes. So I made this video talking about like, I have like forms of OCD. I do. Nowhere near as bad as some people, so I'm not saying that at all. But I do some OCD things. I do. And I wanted to open up a bit about my OCD. And no, never been diagnosed with OCD because I've never been tested.
I do have OCDs. I do have obsessive compulsive disorder, not just, oh, I have OCD, but I actually have the disorder. Some people say, oh, I have OCD, but like I literally do. And she said, it's okay. Like I understand because you have OCD. Like,
but I have been diagnosed with OCPD because I have been tested. So I don't know what to do with that information, but I feel like I should put it out there.
Just like a mixture of like OCD and anxiety mixed together. Anyways, back to what I was saying. I say like I pick my skin, what I mean, it's part of like the OCD family or whatever, so that's fun. Is part of the OCD family. I suffer with OCD. I suffer with massive anxiety. I have trauma. These things are professionally diagnosed.
No. Never been diagnosed with OCD.
Been diagnosed. I'm also bipolar. That has nothing to do with it. But the anxiety thing, my psychologist says it goes into my OCD. There are a few topics that I don't talk about on YouTube in detail, and that's foster care and my OCD. Those are just things that I don't really tend to share as much because I know the backlash I'll get. And for some reason, those two subjects are hardest for me, and just me having obsessive thoughts and doing obsessive things, whatever. But I am obsessive about numbers, and I feel like when I do weigh-ins or like I have goals when it comes to like my weight and stuff, I have to include the 0.8. It just makes more sense to me, because if I was to weigh myself like one day or 1 week and I was 502.8, and then I weigh myself the next week and I'm 503.0, I've gained only 0.2 of a pound. But if I don't consider the decimals and I'm just like, yeah, I went from 502 to 503, it looks like I gained a whole pound.
I gotta be honest with you, Amber. That sounds more like fudging the numbers and making it sound better to you than anything to do with OCD, but I'm not a doctor, and unlike you, I'm not gonna throw around diagnoses. Thank you so much for joining me. If you liked the video, don't forget to click like, grab a subscription, grab a membership. It makes Rio so flippin' happy. And then we'll see you in the Discord, and that makes everybody happy. Until we meet again, please be kind, and hasta luego.